All right, Shalom. This is Brother Kasha Kwala coming back at you with another lesson, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. Coming back at you with another lesson. This lesson is going to be named your situation, your rebuke, then move on. All right. So I'm going to start off with Hebrews 12:6. It says, "For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth." Exactly. So this, what I'm reading right here in Hebrews 12:6, is a situation you may be going through. This is your situation. Whether it be good, bad, ugly, or whatever. Whatever situation you're going through is necessary. It is for your gain and your profit. All right. But let's say in this instance, you're going through a situation that's pretty troublesome. All right. You may be in it may be hard to deal with, hard to get over, maybe irritating every time you think about it. A lot of brothers trying to give you comfort, but sometimes it seems like it's not working. You keep praying to the Lord to clear your mind, but sometimes it seems it's not working. You try to do different things to get your mind off certain situations, but it's just the scourging that you're going through. At the end of the day, the way you, sometimes the way you react to things could be your flesh trying to overcome your spirit, and you got to control that. All right? When you feel that malice and hatred and envy inside of you, that's just Satan trying to pull you aside from what the main goal at hand is to do. So you got to realize these things and understand that it's just the chastisement of the Lord. All right. So Hebrews 12:6, it says, "For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son who he receiveth." Exactly. So let's get the word chasteneth and the word scourge. Word chasteneth is paiduo, if I'm saying that correctly. It says to train children. But we all know in this instance, according to Apostle Gabar's video one that is a while back, children is just kind of a made-up English word. It really means sons. So what he's doing when he's chastising us is he's training us into be the best princes we can be. Because that's, the name of Israel. He's the prince of the power. All right. It says to be instructed or taught or learn. So through your chastisement, the Lord is trying to teach you something. So when you're going through your lesson or your situation, you have to sit back and self-analyze. What is the Lord trying to tell me? What is the Lord trying to teach me? And what is the Lord trying to make me learn? Okay. Usually the learning comes after the situation. Okay. Because that's where you get the Matthew 5:48, be perfect as my Father is in heaven is perfect. That's where you get Sirach, the 17th chapter, where it speaks on repenting, and then after you repent, don't turn back to your ways. I'm just loosely paraphrasing. All right. It says offend less. All right. So you learn from your mistake. You learn from what you did incorrectly during your chastisement, meaning your training. Therefore, you fix it and you keep moving. All right. So let's get the word scourge real quick. The scourges, and it means mastego, and it means to scourge. It says to flog. Let's see if it says anything else here. Metaphorically of God as a father, chastising and training men as children by afflictions. Exactly. So he's training us. So you go through your afflictions and your scourges and your tribulations. This is the situation. Okay. So again, like I said, you got your situation, then you have your rebuke. Okay. So we're gonna go to Proverbs chapter 3, verse 11 real quick. It says, "My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction." Exactly. His correction, his rebuke, his admonishments. All right. Admonish is an advice. The way you get your admonishments is the Lord will put the spirit on a brother, Doesn't matter if younger or elder, you can still get something and grasp something out of an individual who the Lord is working with. Because he's going to make them say the things that you need to hear, whether you don't want to hear it or not. They're going to make them say things that you need to hear, all right, through your situation. Again, we're taking it hypothetically like a situation that is tough, especially on the mental, okay? So it says again, Proverbs 3:11, my son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. That goes back to Sirach, the 2nd chapter. All right. Take it as joyfulness and gladness. Even back in Hebrews 12, where we just were, it says, you know, some did it for their own pleasure, but the Lord does it for your profit. Okay. So it's the same thing in this case. Don't be weary of this correction, because it's for your profit ultimately. Verse 12, it says, for whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth. That's right. So you should take it as a joyful thing when you're going through your situation and when you may be getting rebuked. The rebuke may become so hard that you may get suspended from a camp. But that suspension is what was needed for you to understand what you were doing incorrectly. And ultimately, you'll probably come back if you keep doing, staying on the right track and listening to those corrections that the Lord is trying to get to you. Okay. It says, even as the Father, the Son in whom he delighteth. Exactly. So take your rebuke. All right. So with that being said, after you go through your situation, after you take your rebuke, now it's time to move on. Okay. Don't linger and dwell in something that is minuscule at the end of the day. See, the scripts say this is a light affliction. What? Your woman left you? Man, get the fuck over it. All right. Get over it. You may have some troubles at your job, may lost a car, got a flat tire. It's just a little correction that'll get your mind situated to more and more want to get the hell out of Babylon and more focus upon the Lord and call upon his name. All right. Though primarily when you're going through a correction, that's all the Lord is trying to get you to do. Continue to call on his name. He's continuing to show you that you need help. That's all he wants you to do. You may get rebuked or start going through your correction, your scourging, your chastisement, all for the Lord to make you realize, bro, you've been kind of lax. You need to come back to me. You need to call on my name, whether you're in prosperity or you're in an affliction, like it says in the book of Sirach. All right. So let me just get this and then I'm going to close it out. This is Philippians chapter 3, verse 12. It says, not as though I have already attained, either were already perfect, but I follow after, if that I may apprehend that for which also I am apprehended of Yahushua Mashiach. Brethren, I count not myself to be apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of the Most High in Yahushua HaMashiach. Exactly. So you reach forward. You forget those minuscule things that was weighing your mental down, but you learn from them. Okay? Just like the script said, when you go into that word chastise, it means to learn, to teach, or to train a son, all right? Or to learn, okay? So when you're going through those, it's an educational thing for your sake, all right? You learn from it, but you don't dwell in the situation. You move on from the situation, but you learn from that situation, okay? And usually at the end of the day, every time you go through your situation, you're calling upon the Lord more and more and more. And that's how he wants it. So when you're out of your situation, you're already trained and brought up to continually call on him like you were calling on him in your distress. You see? So that's what it is, man. You go through your situation, you get your rebuke or your correction, and then guess what? Move the fuck on. All right? This is Brother Kasha Kwala giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. Until next time, I want to say shalom.